My personal top 10 favorite video games of all time and why. Told you it was coming. Hey everybody, welcome back to Daily Gamer Opinion. I am Joe the Widget, and today I'm going to go over my top 10 list of favorite video games of all time. And a little bit of a reason why. Let's get started, shall we? Number 10. Number 10 is Just Cause 3. Reason is that Just Cause series is like the epitome of the guy game. Hello, guy. I love shooters. I love action-adventure titles. And Just Cause 3 fits that very, very well. Reason why it's only 10 is it did have its flaws. It had issues with being, I don't know, I guess overpowered at times. I felt overpowered. So the challenge really wasn't there in some cases, in a lot of cases. There were a couple bases that were pretty difficult, but it was a lot of fun. Oh my gosh, the different ways you can approach every scenario, true open world, a lot of fun. They needed more missions, a lot more missions. There was very limited. It was mostly about just retaking villages, which got repetitive because they were the same type of thing over and over again. But Just Cause 3 was a phenomenal game. Highly recommend it. Number 9. Number 9 goes to Minecraft. Minecraft was the first survival game, really. The one that really, not the first, but really spawned the genre. And it did it very well. It is my favorite indie title of all time. And the way you could just be creative and build and create your own world and environment and creating your servers, it was so much fun. Love that game. Couldn't recommend it more. It did have its flaws. The graphics were really crappy, but there's ways you can get around that if you can figure out how to do resource packs. Not too difficult. Actually, they made it a lot easier to do it. Back in the day, it was kind of a pain in the neck. Now you just go into your menu options. Yeah, well, you can get it. Easy stuff. Minecraft, worth getting, worth playing. If you're one of the few out there who have never played Minecraft, try it. You're doing yourself a disservice by not. Number 8. Number 8 goes to Just Cause 2. I picked Just Cause 2 because this is a little bit better than Just Cause 3. It wasn't as overpowered, there were more missions, and you had an entire city to create havoc in. There was no cities in Just Cause 3. It was so disappointing in that fact. But Just Cause 2 didn't have as many toys as 3 did, but made up for it for the massive amount of missions. There wasn't as big of a map, but it felt bigger. And it was very well done. Yeah, one of my favorite open world games of all time, especially when it comes to shooters, and well worth it. Number 7. Number 7 goes to Borderlands, my favorite shooter of all time. Well, second favorite. You'll see why in a second. But Borderlands really did a perfect blend of RPG and shooter and really chaotic and crazy humor. The art style was, I didn't like it at first, but then it grew on me very quickly. I really enjoyed the art style, a cel-shaded, heavy line art style. That made it seem fluid and fun. The expansions were well done. It created a lot of memorable characters to the game. The amount of weaponry that you could find and do, the legendaries, the pearlescence, it was hours and hours and hours and hours of replay. I love replay value. A lot of my top 10 games have a lot of replay, especially in my top 7. My top 7 have a lot of it. There's only one game on that top 7 too that really don't have as much game replay value, but they make up for it in other ways, which I'll get into in just a second. Borderlands spawned a new genre and did it well and created a new culture, new style of... Anyway, you get the idea. Almost a new genre. Number 6. Number 6 goes to Borderlands 2. Surprise, surprise. A little bit better than Borderlands 1. It created some awesome NPCs. The best I've ever seen in video games. Tiny Tina, Mr. Torque. Love them. The story was fantastic. The gameplay was even better. It improved on Borderlands in every single way. The pre-sequel did not make my list and doesn't even make my top 50 games because it was garbage. Disappointment. But moving on. Borderlands 2 had the best DLC of any game I've ever played in my life. Tiny Tina's Attack on Dragon Keep with the whole bunkers and badasses thing was incredible. The story was incredible. The gameplay was amazing. Love it every single way. Borderlands 2 is, in my mind, one of the more flawless games I've played. There's a few problems, and I know I can pick them out, but I can't think of any right now. Moving on to the top 5. Number 5 goes to Skyrim. Skyrim was the most impressive RPG, open world RPG, I have ever played in my life. The amount of ways you could play that game were endless. I spent 500 plus hours in the game. It was incredible. I can't say enough about Skyrim. People say that the main story was too short, but there's not really a main story. There are several main stories in that game. The dragon thing was only a subplot to a bigger plot in the game. Skyrim had multiple avenues, multiple quests. It was incredible. The DLC was lackluster, but the game itself as a whole was amazing. And there's so much you can discover and do. You can play your character pretty much any way you want. I can't recommend Skyrim enough. It was the best Elder Scrolls intro to that. It's the best title in the Elder Scrolls universe yet. And it's just amazing. If you haven't tried Skyrim, you've got to try it out. Number 4 goes to Killer Instinct, my favorite fighter of all time, and the game that introduced the real combo system, not just button mashing combos. Real combo system where you had light, medium, heavy attacks for both feet and hands that played into the combos, and you had linkers, you had beat openers, linkers, you had special openers, you had finishers. You can create, the combos were awesome. Such a brilliant game. And when you walk into arcade and hear Ultra Combo, it was amazing. Gave me chills, still does. Killer Instinct, best fighter I've ever played. Moving on, number 3, Donkey Kong Country. My childhood was wasted to this game. My parents loved this game, which was really weird. But I even made my first player's guide when I was 13 because of Donkey Kong Country. Of all the secrets in the game, I got 101% in that game. It was 102. Either way, I completely finished that game and blew it away. I played it over and over again as a kid. Love that game still today. Incredible. It was the best graphics of its day by far. Rare did an amazing job with Donkey Kong Country. Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3 were also incredible, but I still think Donkey Kong Country, the original, was better. It set up the story better. It was just fun. It was just pure fun. Number 2. Number 2 goes to Final Fantasy VII. Uh-oh. You guys were expecting that was number 1, weren't you? Mm-hmm. Final Fantasy VII, the reason why it's in my top 2 is it has the best story I've ever played in any video game. Bar none. The graphics were kind of iffy. The cutscenes were amazing. The combat was fun. It was the most open world Final Fantasy that they made. Most Final Fantasies are on rails. Final Fantasy VII was not. In the beginning it was, because it was setting up a story, but then it opened up. And there was so much you can do, so many secrets. Final Fantasy VII, I put 999 hours, no, not 9. I put max hours into it. I had level 999, level 99 on everything. I couldn't get enough of that game. And I cannot wait for the remake. I'm scared about it, but I cannot wait for it. You can check it out in the other episodes I've done in the past. Talk about Final Fantasy VII Remake a lot. Time for number 1. Number 1 goes to Chrono Trigger. Surprise, surprise. Chrono Trigger had an incredible story. Had the most awesome replay of any game I've ever played. Max hours. I did every single ending, all 22 endings, even the secret developer ending. I did it all in that game. I couldn't get enough. I watched my son play it recently, and the combat was incredible. It actually introduced the idea of linking your character's abilities together to create new abilities. It was so good. Flawless. So flawless. I hope they do a reboot. Not a reboot, sorry, not a reboot. Scratch that. A remake or better yet, a remaster. I don't want them to change perfection. I just want to improve the graphics. That was my top 10 list. If you guys want to put your top 10 below or comment on my top 10, by all means, I'd appreciate it. And that was my opinion on my top 10 favorite video games of all time.